One of the most interesting things I get to do as a comic book artist or creator is to work with other people's ideas. And with Wayne Judge's Scar story, the story of the white-haired barbarian, I had a lot of fun. Now he's presented me with a bit of a challenge, and I like challenges. He wants me to work on his character called Mercy, Queen of Luna. Over the next few videos, you'll get to see me working on this comic book. I hope you stick with us and grab your pen and paper. It's time for more Draw TV. When I'm doing comics, I do various sizes of paper. On this one, I decided to do the 9 1/4 by 14, mainly because I got to ink these things. So let's do that. So what I'm going to do, I've already cut the cardstock to the size I need, and then here I'm just taking about 1/4 of my little ruler here, line it up, mark it off so I know what area to work in. Kind of old school. I don't like drawing all the way to the edge if I don't have to. Okay. And this is a splash page that he wants me to work on. Here, there's 10 pages total for this strip. So it shouldn't take us too long to put this together. But I'd like to bring you along for the ride this time. Okay, so on the splash page, he wants the character, Mercy, Queen of Luna. He wants his character in a dramatic pose, kind of a sci-fi, kind of a dramatic pose, sci-fi thing going on, and very sexy, very sassy, if you will, science fiction, old school stuff. And then at the bottom, there's going to be some like a blurb with the information about her. And hopefully somewhere the title is going to be on here. I'll have to ask him about that. So let's go ahead and begin sketching out the pose I want to put her in. And here we go. Okay, so now what I want to do is draw the figure. And I want to be careful not to make it too wild. But I know what I like is this thing. And yeah, I still do the sticks. A lot of artists stopped using the sticks a long time ago. But they say, oh, I don't need to do that anymore. Well, maybe you do. Maybe you need to go back to using the sticks. If you know what I mean. Stick figures. And this what I've done here is just this, and it looks kind of bland. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, maybe redo it and make her more into an action pose, maybe. Let's play with it a little bit, see what we come up with. Okay, so I decided, since there's going to be an informative block down here, I'm going to put it about right here in this area. So I had her foot sitting on this. So I may design this as a stone, or just leave it as the block. And over here, I'm going to have her pistole right over here, and her sword probably right about here. I think that'll work for this. Okay. Now that we've got an idea of where everything's going to sit at, now we'll go into the speed drawing. So here we go. And that concludes the inks and pencils. And what I'm going to do is, in a moment, for when I get done with the piece, I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to put the square around it and fill in this area, this area, and this area with black ink. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to blacken these with just a plain old marker. Trying to get as close to the edge as I can to try to, you know, make sure I don't cut into what I've already drawn. And if I do, it's cool, because I can, you know, let's go back and fix it. I like science fiction comics. You just don't see a lot of them, and, you know, unless they're like, you know, Star Wars or Alien or Predator. I want to see something that's, you know, different. And Wayne Judge presented me with that opportunity with a chance to work on Mercy here. And just kind of going there like that. And I'll tell you, if you're using these, I get these at the Dollar Tree. And if you're using these just to make, you know, quick fills, I wouldn't use them for anything important, but just fill in some backgrounds. Because they run out pretty quick, but they're only like $1 for 5 of them, and I've used this one for quite a while, so it's about ready to hit the, it's about ready to bite the bullet. So we're about ready to say goodbye to it. But if you'll notice, when you're, you know, I don't know who else does some of this stuff, or if anybody out there who's watching this who actually does comics or whatever. It's just something about putting that layer of black down. It just really just makes the artwork shine, or wakes it up, or I don't know. It just makes it pop. And my eyeball really likes it. My mind's eye, you know, it really likes that. For some reason, it's just, you know, it is what it is. Whatever it is. You can see there, I just kind of was doing a little bit there, and I'm going to put some more back here going up. I have that option. I drew the thing. Now, if you're inking someone else's work, it's good. It's not a good idea to just go crazy with all kinds of your own thoughts and ideas on the page. I got to ink some stuff when I was working at Scary Monster, and I inked a pirate story. I don't remember who the penciler was, who the storyteller was, but I can tell you this, it was very nerve-wracking because I'd never inked anyone else's material before. And it was just like inking my own stuff, except I didn't have the luxury nor the option to do, you know, like if I change my mind halfway through the artwork, I can just go back and change it. On this, I'm working from the script, and I'm trying to stick with what, you know, he wanted. But Wayne Judge is good about leaving it kind of open for me, and I do appreciate that, Wayne. If you're watching, I hope you're watching. And I went over a little bit, but I'll trim that out when I do the lettering and stuff in the computer. I'm just going to bring that, I'm just going to go ahead and put that right there. I think that'd be cool. Make her more visible. And then over here, you can see the shadows are working together, and then the plane will be back there. So, you know, you get the idea. And so we're going to come on around like so, like this. And like I said, I'm not real, I try not to put a lot of craziness or over-explain a bunch of stuff. I'm just having fun doing it. And if you're making comic books, I hope I hope you have fun as well. So we're going to fill this in, like I said. And don't throw these away when they start getting weak, because you can make some great shading. See how it does that? I mean, that's because it's starting to run out of ink, but you can do some nice little shading things with that, and that's pretty cool. And right here, you can see it's about had it. So sometimes I'll do a little bit of cheatery and shake it. You're not supposed to do that because it can throw ink all over your artwork, but it's fun. I've had some other artists, tell me, you need to switch to brushes and pen nibs. I have trained myself to work with tech pens since I first started fooling with comics when I was, when I got serious about it when I was in my early 20s, about 19 years old, when I went out to the art stores in Franklin and started looking for stuff I wanted to work with. All I've ever drawn with was pencils and pens. And I tried to stick with that, drawing kind of what I know. It just makes me happier to do that, and it's not a lot of experimentality. This is just a plain old Sharpie pen. You can get them different sizes, and just come in there like this, and just like that. Her hair is supposed to be kind of like tossed about in this scene anyway. Kind of get in there like that. Just like that there. And we'll put a little bit of shading off her hair like this. Now I'm going to come in with this smaller Sharpie pen. And I like this pen. I really like how it works and everything. So I can come in and just do little additions. Little things like that. It's not much to you, but to me, it's like, oh yeah. Like, but that's how that's happening, Okay. A little shading right there. And just kind of look right here, just go across, just like that, and then come up underneath like that. Little things like that. Since it's a black and white comic, it's cool to do all these little shading things. And most people, oh, you put too much on there. Well, if it was a color comic, then you would do the as I call it, the coloring book look. But this is not. This is black and white comic. Now, if I ever, if Wayne's stuff ever takes off and he wants to do full color, I'll be glad to color this as well. Or he can get somebody to color it. I don't care. It's fun. And so there you go on that. And come in here with some of this here. A little bit more here. Right in there like that. And we'll come off this leg here like that. And then underneath the leg like that. I'm not going to do anything else to that. I'm going to leave it be. Yep, that'll do it right there. See if I can zoom out a little bit. There you go. And there it is. Look at that volcano going here, and a big planet in the background, and dorky looking old school spaceship. Room for the title, room for the information, here and here. And okay, so there is page 1. And I will put a 1 on here to indicate what page it is so I don't mix them up. That's for me. Alright, so now that one's out of the way, it's time to start page 2. And lo and behold, I have one already cut. Page 2 is a little more complex, and if you'll join me here next week, you'll get to see you'll get to see more of this good stuff of Mercy, Queen of Luna by Wayne Judge, and illustrated by yours truly. And I hope to see you next week. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Visit VanceCapleyArt.com to see what I'm up to, what I got for sale. I want to let you know that I'm on TeePublic, Vance Capley Art 1972. I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, as you already know because you're on YouTube right now. Make sure you look for me, look for the links below in the description. I thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. Have mercy!
Vance Capley is a self-taught artist who has worked in various mediums, including drawing, painting, and graphic design for over 20 years. He now has his designs here on TeePublic. Old school, unique, stylish. He is also available to help you with your original TeePublic designs. Make sure you visit Vance Capley Art 1972 at teepublic.com. You'll be glad you did.